Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you a shoutcast between LiquidTLO and Tarson here on Steps of War. I believe this is game 4 in a best of 5 series. Not gonna let you know who is in the lead at this time. Don't want to spoil any of these games for you if you have not already seen them. Tarson spawning as the yellow Terran player over here on the north side, what I'll call the 2 o'clock position. Meanwhile, we have LiquidTLO spawning as the red Zerg. He does play random. Don't know if it was random or Zerg in this particular instance, but if he chose Zerg. But here on Steps of War, he's going to be playing as the red Zerg over here at the 7 or 8 o'clock position. Now, you guys have heard me say this multiple times. Steps of War is a very small map, so it encourages a lot of very fast gameplay. Also, these 2 high yield mineral locations over here and over here as well open up for pretty interesting strategies. However, these expansions are very exposed. You have this Xel'Naga watchtower here with this brush, and then you have a very wide ramp point here. So just things to be aware of as a Zerg or Terran player. Tarson now moving out with a single SCV, also going to build a barracks. So building a barracks here, most likely going to build a factory, I would assume, here in order to be able to wall off this front door. I really like this position as a Terran player, just because versus Zerg in particular, just because you can have your barracks and your factory be able to complete a wall off and not have to worry that much about banelings. Banelings are able to break through a supply depot front door so easily. Now we have a spawning pool being laid down, so TLO not going for any early hatchery, getting for early gas. So this does seem like a baneling or at least a speedling opening. TLO now probably going to get that queen. Yeah, start training that queen and then going to get a drone and perhaps an overlord as well. No, going to get 2 Zerglings. So yeah, four Zerglings, a single queen, orbital command being upgraded, as well as training a single marine as well. So 1 single marine now coming out. SCV perhaps going to try to shoo away that drone. Drone down to 32 hit points, dropping the supply depot out. The drone trying to take down that 1 SCV, but realized that the marine would be popping out momentarily, so wanted to go ahead and move on out. We'll see if TLO will be able to deny the gas once again, and that's really going to be the problem. If he's able to drop down another extractor, and if he's able to drop down another extractor, that's just going to be very difficult. Double factory now, so very curious. SCV taking some damage. Down goes that SCV, so only a single marine sitting here. Another SCV has to come off that line in order to fight back. A drone sitting at 27 hit points inside that base, and a second marine being trained up in order to try to shoo away this drone. Drone able to push on in. Now marine being forced to move over here to try to take down this one group. SCV able to continue to repair 2 marines here, now fending off the rest of these Zerglings, and Tarson is in a little bit of trouble. Reactor now being put down. So curious on how this is really going to work for them. Another marine getting shot down. SCV doing a little bit of dance. That marine may be able to get that kill off. Able to get another kill off, and now that single SCV in that position. Hellions now being trained up. Single extractor for a little bit of gas denial coming in from LiquidTLO. Hellion gonna be trained up, already halfway done. The new Hellion has a range of 6 instead of a range of 5, so Hellions are even more powerful against Zerg than before. Furthermore, I believe that splash damage has also been increased. So if that splash damage is increased, they also get an additional length of attack for that splash damage. Hellion now running up that little Doom buggy, running up that ramp, gonna try to take down some of these Zerglings. We'll see how that's really gonna work out for him. And now Roaches already being played, so TLO getting those Hellions, but those Hellions, they lay in $1 short essentially, as they're not going to be able to nearly deal that much damage. So Hellion being forced to pull away, and that 8 damage versus light really not that effective anyways against a Roach. You are able to kite though. If Tarson's able to kite these Hellions, oh, very nicely done, doing a nice double back around, perhaps trying to focus down some of those Roaches. And no, it's 3 Roaches versus 6 Hellions, and 6 Hellions, even though it is 6 food versus 3, those Roaches are really essentially outnumbering those units. A single Hellion now moving around. Marauders need to be trained up. That's really the issue here. Roaches trying to shoot down this 1 single factory. Hellion able to brush off this whole entire attack here, as there's now 4 Hellions sitting on this ground. Not activating that Xel'Naga watchtower. Most likely should activate that watchtower just to get a little bit of sight. Back over here, we now have more roaches being produced. TLO also sitting at tier 2, waiting for a Spire or a Hydralisk Den to be put down. Roach is going to try to push on up. Marauder with the range of 7 from that bunker, able to do a long distance Punisher grenade to shoot down and take down one of those roaches. So roaches will have to come back to fight again another day. Hellions now on the move. Perhaps they'll be able to head up that ramp, take down some of these roaches. No, not going to take down any of those roaches. Just dancing back and forth, running headlong into another group of roaches. Roaches able to cast or use that acid spit saliva. However, Tarson now with a Banshee in the air. Quick tech to Banshee should be able to destroy some of those units. However, there is a single Spire sitting there. Will Tarson see the Spire? He must see the Spire, but he hasn't clicked on it. Otherwise, he would be shooting it down. Now going after that Queen. Queen fighting against a single Banshee. Queen going to be on the losing end of this fight. Down to 23 hit points. Down it goes. And now that Banshee's at 41 hit points, you're going to try to finish off the rest of some of these drones here. TLO losing a lot of drones here. Going to be losing some larvae, trying to take down these drones. Drones taking 2 rounds of attack in order to stop production. And now more cocoons being produced. Queen going to be popping out in just a moment, and that Banshee's short life is now going to end. Down to 23 hit points, 14. Will that Queen be able to get another 2 off? No. And now does Tarson... No, Tarson still does not see this one particular Banshee. Hellions now doing a little bit of a harassment as well, trying to take down some of those drones. Drones able to fend off, or drones able to continue to mine as roaches once again reinforce. We now have a single Banshee, and now we also have the Starport moving over and dropping down in order to, I would assume, start building Vikings and Medivacs. Really, I would assume it's more of a medevac build as Vikings, and no, also Vikings, because Mutalisks are now in the air. So a group of 3 Mutalisks now already on the move toward the main base of Tarson. Stay tuned for part 2 of this replay between Tarson and the little one here on Steps of War.